Hello, and welcome back to Podcasting for Real Estate Pros, where agents learn to attract clients, build trust, and stand out with the power of podcasting. Let's dive in. Tired of feeling like you're screaming into the void every time you post about your podcast? Or even worse, feeling that cringy agent begging for attention feeling? Yeah, no thanks. Let's market your show like a human, not like a hype machine, shall we? Hey, it's your host, Sue Willoughby. And today we're talking about promotion without sleaze, because your podcast, it's powerful, it's personal, and it deserves more than one sad Instagram post that says, new episode is out. Yippee. So let's make sure people actually hear what you're putting out there. First, hear this loud and clear. Promoting your podcast is not annoying. I'm going to say that again. Promoting your podcast is not annoying. It's service, it's connection, and it's how the right people are going to find you. If you created something valuable, it's your job to tell people about it. And yes, you can do that in a way that's real, generous, and not at all gross. So here's a really easy promo formula. First of all, you can pull a quote from your episode. So go through your transcript, grab a juicy one-liner from your episode, post it with a photo and a caption like, "This one hit home during today's episode," or "Real talk about buyers, boundaries, and burnout." Now, it's super easy to use ChatGPT for this. Download your transcript from your recording studio, whatever tool you're using, and then upload it into ChatGPT and tell Chat to pull out some of the best quotes and to write captions for you for Instagram or Facebook or whatever you're using to promote your episode. It'll be super helpful, super easy, and super fast. Next, you can tell a story. So you may want to talk about what inspired this episode, what made it personal, or some behind the scenes content that connects with the episode. For example, this came up in a conversation with a client who almost backed out of a deal. Or, I recorded this one right after getting ghosted by a lead. Here's what I learned. So things like that are real stories about things that have actually happened to you, or it might be some funny story about what happened to you at an open house or when you were showing a property. You're going to have a lot of those for sure. So those are some easy things to do. Pull out content that shares a story, or you could ask a question. So turn your episode topic into a conversation starter. So for example, what's your biggest fear about buying a home? Or have you ever worked with an agent who made you feel, fill in the blank, because there's a lot of things that agents that make people feel icky or weird or invisible or whatever. So things like that, where you're asking them a question and they need to think about it, it's going to create engagement. You may also want to put a short promo in if you have a weekly newsletter, which you should. Just something short and simple with a link to the podcast, something to kind of hook them in. And you might even want to put a little audio clip in there if you feel so inclined. You can also DM your short clips to your clients or to friends and just say, "Hey, I just recorded this episode. I think you might get some value out of it. Check it out." Or, "This episode might speak to what you're navigating right now." Something like that. It's not spammy. It's not desperate. It's just you're being thoughtful. You're saying, "Hey, I think you would connect with this, or I think this could help you. Check it out." They'll either check it out or they won't. No harm either way. So where's the best place to share your promotional stuff for your podcast? Well, if you're on Instagram, if that's your platform, definitely do a post or a reel, but also do a story, because the cool thing about stories is that you can put a link, a clickable link, directly in the story, which makes it super easy. Otherwise, if it's in your reels, then you have to say something like link in bio, and then they have to go somewhere else to click to then listen to your podcast. So if you do it in your stories, it's great, because if you have multiple clips, you can just promote with that link say, listen here. They'll click on the link and it'll take them right to the podcast. You can also promote your entire podcast by putting a link to it in your email signature, also on LinkedIn. I use a tool called repurpose.io. And when I post one thing to Instagram, I have it set up to then push things out to TikTok, to Facebook, to LinkedIn, to a couple of different places. So it all goes out at once. If you're in Facebook groups and they let you promote stuff, that's another great place to say, hey, this discussion came up in our group the other day. I just recorded this podcast. Maybe it will be helpful. Something like that. Don't be spammy. You can even create a QR code and put it on your phone, on your lock screen. So if you're talking to somebody, be like, hey, check out my podcast. Here, look, you can just scan this QR code and it'll take you right to it. Why not? You could put it on your business cards, put it on your website, any place that feels comfortable where people are already going to be looking at your stuff. Make it easy for people to say yes. So here's a few things that you should avoid. Avoid saying, new episode out. Nobody cares. Give them a reason to care. Tell them what it's about. Give them a little juicy tidbit that they're going to, that's going to spark their curiosity. Don't post and ghost. So if you post one thing and don't comment on it, don't look at anybody's comments, don't ever look back, then there's not going to be any activity around that. So don't post and ghost. And don't wait for people to just find it. You've got to put it in front of them in a helpful way. You are creating something that has value. People need value. They want value. So if you have something of value, you're going to want to share it with them. So to wrap things up, your podcast is now part of your brand. It's a trust-building, lead-generating, connection-creating machine. But that's only going to work if people know that it actually exists. So ditch the shame, promote it with heart, and share it like you mean it. Coming up in next week's episode, real estate-specific promotion tips, how to tie your podcast into your listings, bios, emails, and open house conversations like a freaking pro. Until then, just remember, you're not being annoying. You're just getting started. So hang in there, and I will see you next week. Not quite sure if podcasting is the best move for you right now? Totally fair. I get it. Let's explore this together. So schedule a quick call with me and let's sort out your goals and figure out what your next steps are. Click the link in the show notes and let's chat.